おお、一気に20人。ああよし、こんばんは。山田さん、こんばんは。失礼。寝起きでタンが絡んだわ。ちょっと待ってね。よし、山田さんこんばんは。ザカラムさん、お疲れ様です。サルさん待ってました。いやー、どうなんだろうね。マイクさんこんばんは、楽しみです。ラブピースタジーさんこんばんは、初コメです。ありがとうございます。あと11分だね。ちなみにね、公式のこの配信よく聞くと流れてる BGM 新しいんだよね。だから BGM もちゃんと新しく作ってるわ。割としっかりちゃんと1年分のシーズン用意してきたんやなって感じるね。この配信見てる方々よかったら、チャンネル登録と高評価よろしくお願いします。てか俺もなかなかすごくない？昨日寝る前にツイートしといたんだよね。起きられたら配信しますで、俺目覚ましかけずに寝るからさ、起きたらさ、こっちの7時5分で配信始まるまであと10分やっつって起きて5、6分ぐらいで配信の用意完了させたよ。なかなか俺頑張ったわ。ヒデスさんご苦労様です。お待ちしておりました。楽しみやんね。ラグナさんこんばんは。ありがとうございます。スパチャ感謝します。ゆずこしょうさん動画ありがとうございます。信じてくれてありがとうよタンクさん。はあ、登録済みありがとうございます。じゃあ今今ツイッチの配信を見てるのが、4700、おい増えた4800人で、コメントも見てみようか。楽しみやなーっていう。チャットも基本みんなポジティブだ。ネガティブな意見全然ないね。この人だけディビジョン2はディビジョンとは違うって言ってるけど、別にネガティブじゃなくて、そういう意味だしね。離れてたけど帰ってきたぜとか。やっぱ海外も楽しみな人多いんだね。P さんこんばんは。1年以上貼られてたから浦島状態。基本そんな人が多いと思うよ。これは懐かしいね。この BGM はローグが出る BGM じゃん。昨日から PC 版始めました。いいタイミングなのでは。ちょうど始まるしね、新しいのが。公式見てるけど BGM また違う感じでかっこいい。そう、さっき流れてた BGM かっこよかったわ。ほんの少しだけアンセム 2.0 の2の前になるんじゃないかって思ってたのは内緒です。なるほどね。開発チーム組むんだけどって怖いよな、あれは。スイッチも同時視聴中です。器用やな。BTS 版の新コンテンツ手応えどうでしたか？あれは効率中にとっては、効率叩き出せるし、新しく始める人にとってはちょっと敷居が高いかな。難易度が最初はねチャレンジ程度だったんだけど、一気にヒロイックまで上がったんだよね、フェーズ2から。だからヒロイックをプレイできるぐらいの強さがないと ちょっとプレイできないよね。でもそこまでいったら全然余裕って感じ。クリリンさんこんばんは。藤子ちゃんこんばんは。ローグエージェントを検知ね、これローグエージェント来るよね。こんばんは。今日何か始まるんですか？ディビジョン2がね、1年ぶりにね、新コンテンツをね、これから配信していくんだよ。で、そのお披露目が7分後から始まるよっていう。ねが言うような人はもう完全に離れちゃって新コンテンツ作ること自体知らなさそう。まあ確かにね。内容ダメならエルデの森に帰ります。いやー、俺もねエルデンリングはねずっとねスルメのようにねちょこちょこやってってるよ。私もこれから PC 版始めます。おはようございます。そして皆様こんばんは。はいみたいだな。おはようございます。コンシューマーの 30fps ではそれはまあ無理だわ。30fps 制限がね解除されるかって意味だったらそれは無理。新コンテンツはその名も天変地異。やめろ、アンセムはやめろ。こんばんは。新コンテンツから復帰しようと思ってました。ちょうどいいと思うよ。自走さんこんばんは。イーナーもフェイも死んだ今アメリカはどうなるのか。これから新しいキャラが出していくんだろうね。ディビジョンでどこまで行くんですかね。2でやめるかと思ったらね、2を残してそのままなんかハートランドとか小説とかドラマじゃない映画かとかも作ってるからね。ディビジョン1みたいに主人公が強で敵だけが楽しいゲームなくし、主人公が強で敵だけが楽しいゲームどういうことや。敵の方が主人公は弱で敵が強いゲームかな。まあいいや。でも願りたくなる隙を与えるんですよね、マッシブは。マッシブはね、残念ながらねゲームの調整はとても下手くそなんでね、願っちゃうよね。楽しいなっていう感覚よりもなんでっていうことがねやれちゃうからね、彼らは。 PTS の時もね、本当に行方不明になった一主人公がどうなったか知りたい。それ結構描くの難しいんじゃない？それこそ小説とかになんじゃないのかな。どうなんだろうね。でもなんかこうサプライズで出すかもね。こんばんは。ブラックタスクのトップの女の人出ますかね？出ます。実は出ます。なんなら PTS よりがっつり名前出てました。ただいつどのシーズンで出てくるかはわかんないけどね。この新しいシーズン一応扱いとしてはシーズン9なんだよな。そうか、シーズン9か。シーズン9で出てくるかわかんないけど、ブラックタスクの女の人の名前は出てた。PTS ね。ハンターしか徘徊してないオープンワールド作ってくれないかな。それがあれだよ。それに近いのがオープンワールドではないけど、新しい新コンテンツのカウントダウン。マッシブは箱庭作るセンスに全振りしてる気がする。マッシブがやっぱUbisoftがあれよね、ロケ班優秀よね。よし、あと3分50秒。ちょっと顔洗ってくるわ。一回しばしばって。
Hello everyone.
Hello. How are you guys?
Hello. Oh my god, it's been ages. We haven't done one of those, so I don't know what to say anymore.
I don't know how about you, but that's the first time for me, so I'm good.
How is everybody doing? Can you hear us? This is your traditional sound check. Please confirm if you can hear us.
Let's see the beard. People are ready to see the beard. Sorry, unfortunately, I
Will
don't
they
have
see the
one.
beard though? What if I actually shaved?
Guys, I hope that's fine that I don't have a beard.
Oh.
I mean, maybe next time I can go
Staff
about some carnival shops
話してるね。
and buy my stuff.
声出してる
one day.
Wait, are you going to stream with a fake beard?
Imagine
That should
it's
happen.
a Facebook.
I would love
あ
it.
ヤニックだヤ
Oh
ニッ
yeah,
クが
okay.
喋っ
Chat
て
is.
る
I was like, chat is not reacting. I don't know what's going on.
No,
And
no,
then
no,
I
no. They're
realized
reacting.
I had to
Yeah.
restart the stream somehow. The chat was just broken. So
Yeah.
here we are.
People can hear us confirmed, so
Yeah.
that's good.
どう
Nice
Yes.
to know.
どこまでコメント読んだっけな
Only 2
新コン
minutes
テンツ
left.
も楽しみですけ
Oh
ど
my God.
新装備が
I'm
気
so
になりますね
anxious.
新装備はね実装直後はね派遣もう TTS の強さのまま実装するって言ってるから他の装備をもう使う価値ないわっていうぐらいにバチクソに強いぶっ壊れてるで後ほど多分弱体化入ると思うけどね一回入れなくちゃいけないディビジョンって何部構成なんだろうどうなんだろうね一体この再結成された開発チームがどれぐらいのスパンでね活動するかも分かんないからねフォーミンスさんこんばんはインティミは結構弱くなったよ PVP だよねそういえばあれだよねウォーロード・オブ・ニューヨークのデラックス版を買ってる人はこの新シーズンもシーズンパスプレミアムの方でプレイできんのかなシーズンパスだバトルパスかあれシーズンランクパスだっけなんだっけディビジョンでの名前忘れちゃったこのミラー元って英語オンリーだねスイッチだから今の会話を聞いてる感じ録画じゃなくても完璧に生だね寝てる間になんか蚊に組まれたかなこれよしさあ始まるよ3、2、1、0
Radiation levels detected. Detonation imminent. Warning. Full lockdown initiating.
Save the power plant カウントダウンだね
Sound the alarm! It's the division!
うるせえうるせえうるせえ
Proceed with caution. Eliminate security breach.
かっこいいねやっぱトレーラーってのは何気に出てきてるエージェントがさどれもあれだよね今までのトレーラーとかスクリーンショットで使われてたエージェントなんだ
Experimental reactor unstable. EMP detonation imminent. Warning. Warning.
ハートランダー全然別物全然違う
Warning. 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 Please proceed with the adaptation.
カウントダウンで残り時間1秒ぐらいであそこにいたら失敗です脱出失敗で死んでますもうハンターのもの俺もやべえ時間がねえっつってこうバーって逃げてったらね
Hello
That's
everyone,
extended
my
on
name is Daria.
Untitled.
I'm the newcom dev for the Division 2 and we're here today
新しい
to
コミュニテ
uncover
ィマ
all
ネー
the
ジャーのダリア
secrets
だ
of TU15 and Season 9. And today with me
シーズン9
is
の話しま
Yannick.
すと
You
Yannick
all
も
know
隣に
him
いるね
very well.
Hi.
めっちゃ久しぶりに見たわ
It's very exciting. Back to streaming. It's been a long time
Yes.
for the game. I mean, it's my first stream, so I'm good, as I mentioned.
これが
But
ダリアの
I
初
know
め
that
ての
it's
配信
super
だって
exciting for the whole community and for the team as well.
It's just so good to be live again, to just be able to talk to all of you. And the past weeks, anyway, have been just amazing. Like it's been a long time. I think
もう久しぶりに配信でみんなと話せるの嬉しいわ
like it's been a long wait for all of you, obviously, and for everyone that loves the game. It's been a long wait for us as well. I mean, we've been working on this and we've been wanting to talk about it for so long, and now it's out there, and now we get to talk
ず
about
っ
it.
と
as
ず
much as
っ
we
と
want.
この新コンテンツについて話したかったけど
Yeah,
ようやく話せるよって
And also, look at that. We have a live stream room-ish. Temporary one, but it's
So it's like actually a live stream, but it's a live stream.
ハミッシュがいなくなってからは
today.
ずっとステートオブザゲームでやれなくて配信もできなかったけ
actually
どついに
stolen
配
the
信用のね
podcast
部屋もねゲッ
studio
トしてっ
from
て
Peter, so I hope he's not going to be too mad about that. But it's yeah. Some of you might recognize that table.
後ろにあるね雑誌やねこれどれもディビジョンのね新しいコミックとか小説なんだよね
Story.
こっちでは
Yeah.
最近もなんか新しいディビジョンの小
So
説
I'm
ですか
bringing
な
the cringe already. The table. It still smells of Hamish, maybe a bit.
Okay, I'm not Hamish. I do not have a beard, but you'll have to put with that, guys. So, but yeah, maybe next time we'll have a beard. We'll see. Maybe for a Halloween. I don't know, special live stream. Or we're just gonna dress up as. I don't
後
know.
ろの小熊持ってるあれ売ってるもんなんだ
Anyway, gonna have to work on the accent. But it's okay.
Yeah, gonna be hard for me. Okay, so today we gonna show you a lot of cool new stuff, and
こ
I
れ
know
から
that a lot of you have been waiting for a lot of
新しい
time
コンテンツをお
and
見せしま
what you
すと
can expect to see in this stream. I'm announcing it ahead, so if you guys think that you don't want to avoid spoilers, that's information for you. So we're gonna talk about the PTS results, of course.
PTS
we're
の
gonna
まず
talk
結果を
about
話します
countdown new mod. We're gonna talk about expertise system.
カウントダウン
We're
マス
gonna
ターシス
probably
テム
touch on a little bit new season, Hidden Alliance.
で新しい
New
シーズンについ
targets,
てもちょっと
new
話をしますと
history, continuation of the story,
これがシーズン
and
9だね
a lot of other cool
シーズ
things.
ン9の
Yes, it's all season 9. It's
key
all
art.
TU15. It's coming, and yeah, a lot of the things that are included in this update are out there
一体
already.
誰やねん
We
っていう
had
感じだけ
PTS,
ど
we'll talk about that. So all this information is already public. But it's just good to talk about it again and like try to go in a bit more details on all of those things. So
Yeah, but not everything. There
Not
are still
everything.
some secrets and
course.
でも
yeah,
まあ
things
さ
that
すが
you're
に
gonna
今回
see
で全
today
部
for
の
the
内
first
容
time.
をネタバレ
But
する
then
んじゃな
again,
くて
we're
これから
not gonna
ち
show
ょこち
you
ょこ出していきますん
everything.
で
There is still gonna be something left as a special treat for later this week. So keep your eyes on our social media. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook,
おさらになん
Instagram,
か今
Reddit,
週末
Discord.
に
Like,
なんか
just follow us
Twitter で
everywhere. That is very important,
Twitter とか
especially for me.
SNS で何か
You're new
新しい
phone deaf, so give
情
me
報
the
を
good
出すらしいよ
numbers, you guys.
help Daya just show our boss that she's doing a good job. So follow everywhere. Please engage with all the tweets and all the things out there.
Yeah,
It's
that's
gonna
very
help Daya.
important for us. And yeah, it's
あれブラックタスク
very
な感
exciting
じじゃ
for
な
me
かったけ
because
ど
I'm
な
the new addition to the team, and it's been less than 2 months now.
How has it been?
Oh, it's
あ
been
ダリアはねまだねディビジョンのチームにね参加して2ヶ月し
Long
か経ってない
onboarding
んだって
periods, taking
Yeah.
it slow from the
the longest.
beginning.
That was the
まだ
longest
まだいろいろ
onboarding
勉強
ever,
中だ
like
ってさ
1 week, honestly. But then again, I'm very excited to be here. It does feel like one
あ医療品イベントの
lifetime
関係とかそんな
opportunity,
感じかな
and
ねトゥルーサンズっぽかったよね
It's- I
首
would say
に
a
ブルー
dream
の
come
スカー
true
フ
for me.
巻いてて
because
何色っていうん
before,
だ
and
Ah,
it's not
Toulouse-Saint
really a
らしい
secret, and a lot of
服着
my
てて
former colleagues know about that. I had the division as an example of how you can engage with your
イエス
community.
はもうアップデしないんか
And get,
なそれはないと思うよキリステ
People
は
hyped up
ディビジョン2では
and
ないと思うよ
heard and actually be as available part of the team as well.
俺の声
And
上げて
I
ほ
think
しい
that
あ了
that
解
has been very big for division, and it feels surreal to actually now be sitting here.
さらにじゃあ上げてみたよ
It's your responsibility.
Yeah.
So you mean when like engage with the community
で
and do a good job of working with the community. You mean not the part
スイッ
where
チ
we
の
are
方の
starting
音を
from
少し下げてみたよ。
Definitely not that part,
Yeah,
but
we
then
don't
again,
recommend that.
yeah, no,
Okay.
I would not recommend
just-
that.
just
I mean,
clarifying.
now that I'm here and I know that the team has been amazing, it has been doing everything in their power to get the content to you as fast as possible. But of course, there are some limitations, and we can just talk a little bit about that because that's not really a secret, and we want you guys to have it.
エルデンリング終わったからちょうどいいな。
I mean, we've been pretty.
おお、 もういいな。
quickly
俺は
open
本
and
当
try
にエ
to
ルデン
get
リング
the,
ゆっ
you know,
くりゆっくりやってる
situation
から
with
ね。
the game. And a while ago, it feels like a lifetime ago now. We explained that after the release of Title Update 12 and Season 4, this was actually supposed to be our last update, and this was supposed to be the
あ、
end
だ
of
シーズン
for
4、
Division
フェイトの戦いをね、配信し終わった後、本来はそこでディビジョン2は終わるはずだったんだけども、復活しましたと。
But you know what that means, and I think like some people in the community manage to understand that, but it's not always clear for everyone on what happens behind the scenes when we say that. Well, what happens is we had to start from scratch because since we were supposed to stop support for the game, but
でも結局 UBI の決算でディビジョン2の続きはあるっていう発言がされた時、一体何が起きてたかっていうと、開発チーム自体はもうなくなってたから、一から開発チームを集め直さなくちゃいけなかった。だからこんなに時間かかったんやって。
So what that means is at this point it's like it's cool we get to keep supporting the game, but we need to find a team.
Yeah, basically restarting the whole process, right?
だからもう本当一からゲームを作り直しているようなもんだからこんなに時間かかったと。でさらに新しいスタッフたちがどうやってディビジョンを作っていくかを学ばなくちゃいけなかったから勉強の時間もかかったと。
Working the way we used to and just feeding the
今までみたいに単に人を集めてで今までのやり方でやっていくじゃなくて、人を集めてさらに新しくその人たちに全部のやり方を教えていかなくちゃいけなかったと。だからすごい大変だったんや。
The actual work on the update did not start on the very first day. As soon as we announced that we were going to keep supporting the game, there was still a lot that was happening in behind the scenes.
本当裏側には大量にめっちゃ大変なことあったんやねって。
And not just preparing for that one update, but preparing for long-term support with the game, because as we've explained a few times already, this is not just about TU15. This is not just about Season 9. It's a return to continuous support for the game with more seasons after that and an entire year of content.
Already spoiling everything.
That's because I'm not reading my notes.
But no, that's
Don't spoil year for all.
Too late for that, I
Sorry.
guess. Yeah, but the good thing is that with the ongoing work on rebuilding the team and hiring new people, we're gonna have even more content in the future.
Yeah, I mean it's.
でもまあその新しいチームが用意できたから今後は新しいコンテンツも出せるようになりましたと。でコンテンツを出すだけじゃなくてサポートもできるようになったよと。
Coming back now with content and with TU15 and having the PTS and having all of that, it allowed us to have a bit of a refresher, up-to-date view from the community on what they would like and what you guys want on the
で PTS をやったことによって、
to have that conversation starting again.
コミュニティがどんなものを求めてたかとか、コミュニティというやり取りができたから、いろんな新しいアイデアをもらえたと。あ、Ubisoft プラスそうだよね。日本でね、ローンチしたよね、ついに。俺も2019年から加入して、もう Ubisoft の新作が出るときだけ加入して、新作プレイしてるってやったもんな。レッドストームはもう一切関わってないよ。レッドストームはレッドストームで、あれだから、ハートランドとか別の VR ゲーム作ってるから。あと、レッドストームで当時ディビジョンを、要はレッドストーム神話っていうのはディビジョン1を復活させたチームのことじゃない。でもチームもレッドストームからほとんど抜けてるからね。ディビジョン2の新コンテンツ発表の時にもいたトニーとか、トニーでテリーか。
we were recording
頭
the
スキンヘ
servers
ッド
of
で
seasons
背が
1,
高
2,
い
3,
人
2, 3,
俺
4,
会ったことあるけどすげえいい人だったんだけど
so we
テリ
had
ーた
to
ちも
record as
も
fast as
う
we
レッ
could
ドストームか
before
ら
the,
の
before the,
抜けたからね
all
も
the
う
studios were
新しい
gone.
ゲームスタジオで
And so,
活動したり
it's
し
all
てる
those
か
kind
ら
of things that you don't really
レッ
think
ドストーム
of.
神
It's
話
like,
も
okay,
もう
then
ね
we record everything, and then we have
ないものと思った方がいい
very,
よ
fewer options for iteration compared to what we would usually do. Usually we would revisit a lot of that and re-record and iterate as many times as needed to reach the quality we want. But in this case, we had
そう
to,
そうそうめちゃくちゃでかいマグカップの
we
人
had to compromise on all of that because just not everything was available the way it used to.
Yeah, of
And of
course.
course also everybody working from home, which is great for some people, less great for others because the access to the tools and all of that is just
いまだにやっぱリモートでの
Yeah,
ね
one
作業は
rising
大
from
変
the
やって
ashes
言
is
ってる
no
ね
longer a metaphor, but a description of our life.
yes.
And yeah, actually there is, I'm like not the only new hire, probably the most recent one, but there is another great team of people that we wanted to introduce to you guys. It's the team from our Bucharest office
Yes.
in Ubisoft Romania. And we have
あそう
a
そう
very
今ね
nice
マッシ
message
ブだ
from
けじゃ
them.
なく
Let's
て
watch.
ブカレストとローマニアのスタジオがディビジョン2の開発に関わってんのよでマッシブのメインは多分
Ubisoft
今アバター
Romania
とかの
was
方にいて
founded in 1992 and
やべえ
we're
この
the
人の
first
発音
Ubisoft
超きつい
production studio to be founded outside France. There are currently over 1,800 employees on multiple departments: production, quality control, IT department. Today, I'm proud to say that Ubisoft Bucharest is the second largest Ubisoft studio worldwide and has a strong history of contributing to AAA franchises.
ウービソフトブカレストはウービソフトが抱えてるスタジオの中で2番目にでかいスタジオなんだそんなところがディビジョン2に関わってるから結構ディビジョン2に力入れるんだな改めて
We quickly grew to a peak of 35 for delivering Gear 4 on all job families: artists, designers, programmer, QA. The team was very happy to work on Division 2, working on a live game where everything happens fast. We receive live feedback from a big, great community, and you need to quickly act
単
on
に
it.
Working on this title represented a great opportunity and challenge. We had the chance to work with the Snowdrop engine, which was the first time for Ubisoft Romania, on a new pipeline
ユ
and a
ービソフトルーマニアにとってスノードロップは初めて触るエンジンだったんだって
and gameplay systems fast to reach the high standards set by the main game and its previous updates. One of the biggest challenges was to adapt to the workflow of a live game. Not only continue working on the new updates, but also understanding the needs of the Division 2 community.
でライブサービス型のゲームを手掛けるのが初めてだったからまずはそのやり方をね学ぶのが大変だった
We put together several ideas for the content and features that we wanted to put in. There were several pitches related to the countdown mode and what type of mode it was going to be, how many players, complexity, and so on. As for the map, the entire team contributed with ideas
で
related
カウント
to
ダウン
the
を作る上で一
environment
体
and
どんな
what we
話し合いをしたか
possessed.
っていうのも話して
In
るけ
the
ど
end, we decided to go with a co-op mode with 8 players and matchmaking.
最終的にいろんなバージョンをカウントダウン作ってたけど最終的に8人コンテンツになったよって
sense with the countdown mode, and that sets a fast pace straight away, but there are also size and tech constraints connected to this. What we knew for sure is that we wanted to offer the players the fantasy of exploring a surprising,
カウン
inaccessible
トダウンの
location,
も
which is something
ゲーム
Division
の目
excels
標
at.
はゲームの速いペース速いペース
We
のゲームをしながらも
investigated multiple themes and narrowed it
戦
down
略
to
的
three
な
different
戦い方もで
briefs,
きる
out of which
ゲ
the
ームモー
power
ドっ
plant
てこと
was a winner. Next, we did detailed research on these types of facilities and
で
started
さら
to
に
flesh out
ディ
the
ビジョン
different
らしい
spaces, considering their
現
identities,
実世界とあと
visuals,
さら
and
にゲームのファンタジーを
Countdown
組み合わせるため
had to
に
be compelling, so we
いろんな
constantly
ロ
kept
ケーションを
looking
見
for
て回
ways
っ
to
て
convey the tense
この
atmosphere.
発電所が良かったんだっ
We
て
initially had daytime on the exterior of the map, but we felt we had to push things a bit more, so we changed it closer to nighttime. We had a lot of fun working on the map, and we are excited to be able to finally share it
BTS は
with
もう
the
終わってる
community.
よもう先週終わった
What a nice video. Oh.
All those beautiful faces.
俺はカウントダウンやったよ
As Tim mentioned in the video,
俺はカウントダウンをやっ
they
て
played
最初に
virtual
3
world
人
and
か
delivering the
フレン
countdown, and yeah, maybe
船だけで行って、
Yeah,
ハ
a bunch of things in the-
ンターが確定湧きする3カ所を回って脱出した方がこれ美味しいんじゃねっていう話をしてたわ。いろいろとカウントダウンは悪いことできそうな気がするね。
And they've been a great partner. You know, it's really not easy to jump into a project, take over the bulk of it, and basically take over the work of someone else. I think if you would start from a game that hasn't been shipped yet, that would probably be very different. But here, taking a game that already has 2 years, that has been made by someone else, like I don't code myself, but I always hear from coders. You know, I'm sure some people in the chat are actually coders in video games.
ハンターさん、いや、カウントダウンさ、ハンターが確定で湧くポイントが3カ所あるんだよ。で、それとは別に最終的にハンターが同時に5人出てくるところがある。カウントダウンは結構ね、手軽にやれていいコンテンツだと思うよ。ただ初心者がいきなりゲーム変えました、じゃあいきなりやりますっていうものではなくて、ちゃんと難易度がヒロイック相当になったから、ヒロイック用の装備を集められるぐらいになってからいかないとだね。まあ8人コンテンツだから他の人たちにキャリーしてもらうっていうのも全然ありだと思う。サブアカとかを育成するのもいいんじゃないかな。名前付き装備がめっちゃ手に入るしね。
That matches the vision we had agreed on, and also still, you know, follows the legacy of the Division 2 and what, you know, what the game is known for. I mean, that space is beautiful. You want to explore it. You want to stay there. You want to see all the details. The gameplay is fun. It's, you know, good PvP as we like to do it, so, or PvE. Sorry, I said PvP, not PvE, as we like to do it. And yeah, it's. So yeah, it's really been a pleasure, and it's just the beginning because we're going to keep collaborating together for the future updates. So,
yeah, and it actually it's very nice and inspiring, especially for me as a new person, to see how every single person working on the game, no matter the discipline, super passionate about everything.
この配信は。この本家の配信の方ね、やっぱファミッシュとかがいなくて全部一からこう台本を作り上げていったから、あと久しぶりの生配信だからこういろいろ裏側を語りたいのはわかるけども、そろそろ新コンテンツの話してくれ。ゲームコンテンツの話をどれだけ開発が難しかったかっていうのは分かったから。Talk about contents, please. ちょっとコメント見てみるか。
It's a pleasure to come to work every day because it's you know, the team we have today with Bucharest and the team.
一応 PVE についてね、PVE がより楽しくなるようにっていう話を今してたんだけど、まあ結果 PVP はどうなったのってコメントがちょこちょこ出てるな。
You know, for most of the people, it's people who chose to be on Division 2. People that had choices, even us at Massive. You know, like we could be working on Star Wars, we could be working on something else, and instead we decided to stay on Division because that's the project we're passionate about. So, and that's a vibe you get from a lot of people in that team.
アンセムパターンで運営は大変なんです。あれはね、運営というよりもEA だよね、悪かった。パブリッシャーの EA が悪かった、あれは。
Can be found almost in everything that this team does, and I'm saying that as a person who just joined, so it's super obvious for me, and yeah, it's a lot of.
こんばんは。カウントダウンは敵の硬さは通常に戻るのかな。通常？通常が今後は
And actually, I mentioned the PTS, and I must say that maybe because I'm a newcomer dev and I was kind of helping with that one, but maybe because the content was so good, it's the most successful PTS that we had so far.
PTS は今までの中では
19K players. A little bit more than that.
9万人以上のプレイヤーが PTS でテストして、で今までの PTS の中では一番成功した PTS だった。でいろいろ問題はあったけども、それがそのための PTS はそのためのものだからって。
Definitely. And of course, we also received tons of valuable feedback and suggestions from the community, and we were even able to act on a lot of those suggestions. For example, countdown difficulty.
でいろんな元々のカウントダウンの内容とか、マスターのコストとか
And gear, yeah,
そこら辺はコミュニティからのフィードバックがあったから、調整を加えてそれもさらにまた PTS で実装できたっていうぐらい開発はかなり早くなったね。
On one hand to just see the enthusiasm from everyone to actually come back and test it and just try to see what this update is about and have all those conversations and engaging with everyone. But it was also extremely valuable in terms of the sheer outcome we get out of this PTS in terms of learnings, in terms of bugs that are found and balancing changes.
Yeah. So we sincerely thank every single person who took part in testing and helped us make the game better. It won't be possible without you, so thank you so much. And yeah, I think since we kind of teased quite a lot of things about new season, it's actually about time to dive straight into that.
ついに新しいシーズンについての話が始まるよ。
New season.
うるせえ。
This is Captain Lewis of the True Sons.
トゥルーサンズのキャプテン・ルイスってやつなんだね、新しいやつは。
My advanced team is already in DC.
ルイス大佐がキャプテンは。
You still have no idea what you're up against.
ルイスカウントダウン、2回の医療品イベント。ちょっと早くて全然。シーズンパスあると、レベル100まで、無料の装備もありますと。で5月の24日と7月の5日から、新しい医療品イベント。基本的にはシーズンの仕組みは今までと変わんないね。早い。誰だこのトレーラー作ったの。
Right? It's super cool. I mean, I'm excited. So, let's just go through everything that we saw right now. So in
ちょっ
season
と
9,
ダリアン分かってんね。トレーラーが早すぎるって。もう笑ってるもん。
Everything that was available on the PDS, countdown expertise. Of course, you have seen the new Manhunt calendar and the season pass. So absolutely, totally, that's gonna be in there. And for the season pass, we're gonna get a new reward track. With a lot of cool items available in there.
で、ワンハントもあると、シーズンパスもありますよと。で、シーズンパスではハートブレーカーとかも手に入りますよと。
Gear dies that I don't want to spoil to you right now, but you're gonna see that. I mean, they're amazing. They're actually just state of the art. Amazing.
But it is because I know that some people were not sure about that, but it is a full-fledged new season. So it's not, we've been rerunning seasons for the past year, and we went through 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 3, 4, 2, because why not?
止めてくれ。このトレーラーを止めてくれ。マジ早すぎんだよ。
This one is a completely new one, so it comes with all the novelty that you can expect from a new season. New gear, new rewards, new manhunts, new story, and all of that. And even
でもちゃんとね、新しいストーリーもここから描いていくと。
And oh yeah, the apparel event. Honestly, I was thinking there's something I forgot to mention.
グローバルイベントも、グローバルイベントも3回あると。
And they're really amazing. The designs just out of my mind. So.
あ、
でこれが新しいエキゾだね。このマスク。エキゾ増えるよ。今見てるこの顔が新しいエキゾ。で、銃も新しいエキゾ増えるし。
But our producer Paddy put a lot of work into a lot of sweat and tears. I don't know, but it's been a whole process. But now I think we've landed in a really good place where we're able to produce apparel, and I think people will notice the quality is it's going to be pretty good.
ストーリーは新しいのが続いていくんだね。
And also, new season means the continuation of the story.
Yes.
And trigger warning, character death. Sorry, I needed to get it out there. So before we continue discussing countdown and expertise. I want us
Who
to.
does she mean?
I don't know.
Who's dead?
Watches. I don't have watches on me. Weird, but. So, before we
やっぱちゃんとフェイラウが死んだってこれから言うのか
new
な。
manhunt, new targets,
Yeah.
is there anything you want to come clean about?
No, so no, it's
多分ヤニッ
there's
ク
been
が
a
ね、
lot of conversation from season 4 all the way to now.
やっぱ
about where season 4 ended, and
even
season
yeah.
9 is a direct, it's the direct consequences of season 4. It comes immediately after in our timeline. So that whole year that we waited between season 4 and now didn't happen in our story. In our story, you start season 9 immediately after the events.
シーズン9の新しいストーリーはシーズン4でフェイを倒した直後から始まるんだって。で、フェイは死にましたと。フェイが復活することはありませんって今言ったね、はっきり言ったね。
Isaac is a computer, sometimes computers bug. I don't know. I'm sure we'll retcon a reason why Isaac didn't say anything, but no, Fela is dead. She was always meant to be dead, and that was.
で、フェイを倒した時にアイザックが特に何も言ったりとかしなかったから、フェイ生きてんじゃねえのっていうね、説があったんだけど、それを完全に否定。
It wasn't clear, but it was not unclear because we intended it that way. It's just the execution made it unclear. So that's why I want to confirm that when you go into season 9, it's not a surprise. Fela is dead. But
シーズン9を始めるときにフェイラウが死んでるのは
why did she do all of that? Why did she go rogue? Why did she kill, assassinate the president? Why did she blame it on the division? Like all of that, this is all the questions that we're building on for season 9. So season 9, as I said, takes place immediately after.
シーズン9ではなぜフェイがディビジョンを裏切ったか、大統領を暗殺したかと、フェイの動機について話をより進めていくんだって。今まで残ってたフェイについての謎がこれからどんどん明かされていくよと。
A new enemy that is arising with Captain Lewis, who's one of the new leaders of the True Sons, and is coming for Washington D.C.
で、トゥルーサンズとかどんどんリーダー倒したけども、今度はこのルイスってやつが台頭した。で、そいつはワシントン DC みたいな。
provide some answers to the questions that showed up after season 4. Bring new questions as well, because why not? And yeah, it is overall an ambition for the entire year to just lean a bit more heavily into story and do a bit of a better job at delivering story and creating compelling story that people will want to come from season to season to, unfold more of it.
Yeah, one narrative director is actually creating a lot of new surprises for us. Hello, Lauren. Thank you so much for that. I don't know. I can't really be so happy about Fei Lao's death, but yeah, now that Cat is out of the bag, we can actually
And now it's
show.
clear, so now you can make your peace with
Yeah,
it.
and
All
that-
of you.
Yeah.
She's dead. Not coming back.
改めて念入れ
But
て
now
フ
we
ェイは
can
死に
move
ましたっ
on
つってるわ。
to manhunt targets, including Captain Lewis, the prime target.
で、今度はキャプテン・ルイス、新しい敵について。
And we have a trailer for all our new targets. Let's
で
watch
今度
this
は
one.
新しいマンハットの敵たちの
Well, it
Torreira.
looks like the True Sons are getting bolder under their new leader, General Anderson. He used to be a strategist for Ridgeway, and it looks like his ambition has reached new heights. He's smart. They're keeping him at a secure location. We're getting reports of 5 of his True Sons moving on DC. Major Castillo, a civilian turned True Son. Castillo's
元市
background is
民
in
のトゥルー
engineering.
サンズ。
He's been taking over radio frequencies and broadcasting these rants that, frankly, if you didn't know better, could be quite the recruiting tool.
で、放送を乗っ取っていろいろと宣伝してると。
This woman is a piece
サー
of
ジェント・
work.
ダニエル
We're getting reports of her indiscriminately assassinating civilians in the street.
で、
She's
こいつ
on a
は市
rampage.
民を暗殺していってると。
We've also got a logistical nightmare on our hands with Lieutenant Chang. His background and
Lieutenant
experience has
Chang.
shored up the True Sun supply lines and weapons.
こいつが
Can't afford to let him
トゥルー
build
サン
our
ズの
stockpiles.
なんだ
Then
補
there's
給ラインを
Major
整えてると。
She has some anger management issues. Xander's been torturing and interrogating civilians.
ザンダーは市民を、拷問して、拷問して尋問してると。で、キャプテン・ルイス。まだこのルイスってやつと、さらにその上にジェネラル・アンダーソンっていうのがいて、この2人が何かをどでかいことを計画してると。アジア系だったね。
So yeah, those are the new targets, and actually the first one, the alpha target, Castillo, is going to be available right on the day of the release, so May 12th. And
で、5月の12日から、まず最初のカスティオが倒せますと。まあ別に今までと仕様マンハントの仕様は変わってない。
because we were explicitly asked by a lot of players that they want this stream to be spoiler free, so we're not gonna provide a lot of details.
We're asking people to be respectful of spoilers, so we should discipline ourselves to do the same. There's just so much good things to talk about.
このダニエルがつけてるさスコープさ、今までディビジョンにはなかったタイプだから追加されるのかな。
While we still have that on replay, we can start discussing countdown bit by bit because there is quite a lot to cover, and as you guys know, especially those who were able to take part in the testing, that the
コールサインなのはじゃなくて階級なのはあれでしょ。トゥルーサンズだからでしょ。スキルは増えないね。
You know, randos to play with. I know that some of you just don't like to do that, but let's agree it's much better than just try and search for people.
シャープシューターのデジスコを他の武器につけてるってことがさ、今までできたっけって感じなんで。そう、これがデジスコってのはわかるけど、これどう見ても AR に取り付けてるよね。あんなごついデジスコ。
It still will be possible for you to try and beat down the mode with less than 8 players. So if you have a group of friends with the quite decent builds and good coordination, it should be possible for you to try. And yeah, we've seen that during PDS.
でカウントダウンはこれからプレイする人たちなんだっけチームをフレンドたちとチームを組んだらもう初日からクリア全然できますよとデジスコついたんだ
There's matchmaking for a reason. It's like if you Let's say that if you are a player that either doesn't have a pre-made group of 8 or do not have, you know, the
新しいスキルとかはあれかな多分シーズン10とかからシーズン11とかのいつになるか分かんないけどスペシャリゼーションの改善の時に追加されるのかな
the events at the power plant. So the extraction is just bonus, but you should be able to get through. And of course, for players that are more advanced, that have teams that are really made, that are really good at strategizing, that have the best builds in the world, then the challenge comes into completing it with less than 8. So that's the way we try to balance it, which is making it achievable by 8 players that are not the most optimized players, and therefore the optimized players will
カウントダウンはなんで8人制にしたかっつうと8人もいればみんながビルドをガチガチに固めてなくてもクリアできるとでも人数が減れば減るほどだんだんみんなそれぞれのビルドをちゃんとしてないとクリアできなくなるそんな感じの難易度を目指したんだってだからねカウントダウン8人でやるっていうのは結構緩いよ一応敵の強さが広い国になっちゃったから少しはちゃんとした装備が必要になったけど医療品についてあんまり話がされないみたいだねさっきのダリアの話からすると医療品イベントのこと言うの忘れてたって言ってたから
become easier for everyone to approach it because people will become more and more knowledgeable about it and how it works.
Yeah, definitely. And the competition is on, so tweet at us once you're able to beat it solo or with 2 friends. It's going to be interesting for sure. But yeah, I mean, personally, I tried it on test builds, of course, before and on PDS as well. And the change in the difficulty was obvious. And I'm kind of happy with what we achieved with Phase 2.
Yep. Yeah, I think Phase 2 was much more where we wanted it to be. Phase 1, it felt off from the moment the PTS went live and people started playing it, and we watched the streams and we went into the game ourselves and we played it, and we're all just realizing, okay, this is not where we wanted to be, and this wasn't what we had on our test builds internally. So yeah, that was again super useful for the PTS to get that. So we had the chance to revisit that and make it a bit closer to our vision for PTS2. And it looks like we landed in a good spot. Of course, there's conversation about difficulty in general, and that's something we will tackle. But it is at least that difficulty, the one we had intended initially. I think we've landed pretty close to where we envisioned it initially.
Yeah, and talking about difficulty settings, we've seen a lot of feedback during all the PTS phases, and a lot of you guys asking whether or not it will be possible to introduce other difficulty options. I mean, we can't really promise anything right now, but we're looking into that.
カウントダウンとかゲーム全体の新しい難易度は追加できないのって PTS で提案があって、約束はできないけども検討を始めてみるって。実装するかどうかはね、約束できないけど、新難易度。
Just having the group size as the only factor here is not enough in terms of giving more granular options for everyone. So we're looking into that. It's a bit of a tricky
カウントダウンの方だと思うけどね。レイド専用装備いい加減ベアラー以外は落として、落ちるようになるよ今度から。
It's all quite more complex, but we're looking at how we could try to give a bit more control to everyone to cater the difficulty to their builds.
So to summarize everything, would it be fine to say that the possibility of adding new difficulty options is under the investigation, and we're gonna collect more feedback after TU15 release and see what you guys think about the mod and what other suggestions.
カウントダウンはとりあえずこのシーズン15ではそのまま出すけども、カウントダウンの高難易度版を検討しているから、このシーズン15でのフィードバックを見てからいろいろとね決めていくみたいよ。PTS では9万人以上がプレイしたわけだけど、製品版っていうのはもっともっとね人が多いわけだから、そういう人たちからの意見も聞いてみていろいろと検討していくと。
In the end, and then do we need to tune that difficulty, and do we need to add more options, and when can we do it? These are all the things we're going to be looking at moving forward.
難易度をどんどん変えるっていうのはね、ライブサービスゲームのいいところでもあり悪いところでもあるけど、そういうのはねできるよ、柔軟に。
We pretty much covered the countdown, so let's just move to expertise feature.
今度はマイスター、マスター。マイスターなのかマスターなのか分かんなくなっちゃった。PTS での日本語の表記が変わったせいで。そもそもなんでマイスターっていう読み方にしたのか。英語だとエクスパタイズレベル、エクスパタイズなんだよね、呼び方が。なのにね、日本だとなんかマスターになったり、マイスターになったり。
So as you can see, super straightforward, very smooth, easy to understand. No, I mean expertise it's a complex feature, and we always struggle to even sum it up in a few.
ちなみにこのね、マスター、マイスターシステムはね、割とね複雑。一度ね慣れるといいんだけども、パッと見ただけで全てを理解できるのはいない。 でそれはヤニックたちも今承知してる。自分たちでネタにしてた。これ見ただけでみんなわかるよね。わかるよねって言ってたけど、わかりませんよって。
is completely dependent on how many items exist in a game. As soon as we add new items, that means expertise can go up again, and that means players can become more powerful.
でとりあえずシーズン
with every new season, every time we add new items, then we're also
あれ
by default
今ウジニアゲティカって新シーズンの新装備のアイコン PTS にはなかったけど追加されてたのか。違うか。PTS にもあったか、アイコンは。
Again, super useful on that one, and yes, we had a lot of feedback on the progression page.
服にマイクが擦れてるよ、ヤニック。
On the upgrades, on the UI as well, on the screen, we made some changes to try to make things a bit more understandable.
で PTS でマイスターの UI がとにかく分かりづらかったからもうちょっとだけ改善しましたと。再調整はねまだあるよ。でこれ自体もねほんと説明が難しいから俺もちょっと省かせてもらうけど、このシーズン15でフィードバックを受けたらまた新しくいろいろと追加していくよって改善していくよって。キャッツさんありがとうございます。熟練度を上げるとマイスター経験値を取得していく。まあそんな感じだね。で熟練度を上げてさらに今度はそれを熟練度を上げる方法っていうのも PTS のフェーズ1だったら敵倒してるのも十分早かったっちゃ早かったけどどんどんコストが変わってったからな。製品版でどうなることやら。
That was one of the biggest learnings we took from PTS. And the cost reduction for expertise,
どうめんさんこんばんは。
what you're gonna see in the game in several days, it's an upgraded version.
まもなく俺の配信1000人見てくれるわ。1000人超えるのは久しぶりだわ。みんなありがとう。よかったら高評価とチャンネル登録よろしくお願いします。
Rank 11 to rank 20.
Yeah, absolutely.
And on top of that, for gear pieces, so like chest pieces,
簡単に大雑把にまとめると装備集めて装備を寄付して寄付すると熟練度もどんどん上がってってこのマイスターレベルってやつはどんどん上がっていきます。で上がっていけば上がっていくほどより強くなります。上限を突破しますっていう感じで現在シーズン15だったら合計344個のアイテムがゲーム内に存在するんだけど熟練度関連の装備がねもちろんシーズン16とかになってなんだ新装備が追加されたらさらにまた上限が上がるから出先からは寄付できない。残念ながらそれ本当にしてほしかったね。高評価一気に増えたわ。ありがとうございます。配信見るの初めてです。こんばんは。こんばんは。俺もあんま配信せんからね。アップインヌーブさん、初見さんいらっしゃい。みんな登録してくれてる方もありがとう。おお、気持ちいいぐらいに上がっていく。ありがとう。
You're also going to be increasing your expertise and therefore opening door for more power.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that was actually a very right decision for the team, and thanks for all the feedback, because otherwise we weren't able to make that one to lower the costs, right? Because now it's not only that basically feature available to super hardcore players, but almost to like I would say that it's gonna suit almost all every possible play style.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's
まあどんなゲームのプレイスタイルをしててもこのマイスターレベルは上がってきますよと。まあ、もちろんマイスターレベルを上げる最高率のやり方とかはいろいろあるけども基本何やっててもレベルは上がっていくよっていう。そう出先からね寄付できないからねめんどくさいんだよね。PTS の時はさこれ PTS のデータだからってことでどんどん保管庫の中とか処分できたけどそれができないからな製品版は困ったよな。
which is extremely
ナウンさんこんばんは。
Yeah, definitely.
た
And
あ
since
め
those who
いも
will
さん
be
初
reduced
見さん
in
いらっしゃい。
common half from level 11 to 20, and other levels would still need the exact same amount.
After
So
that,
yeah,
yeah.
it could be. a
保
good
管庫の容量は増やせないね。
But then
無
again,
理
it's
だ、あれは。
also a good opportunity for you to invest more time in the game, right?
Yeah, but it's always, once again, it's nothing is.
誰かのマイクが服に当たってて、かすれて、ザダッて入ってくるノイズがすごいきつい。
We'll see the feedback we get from the entire player base once it's
Yeah.
out there. Now we've reacted to the feedback we got from the PTS, and if the feedback and the data we get from the game, because we always also look at data, if those two tell us a similar story of it's too slow, it's too grindy, then of course we will act.
でもしマイスターレベルの評価がね、みんなプレイヤーからのフィードバックがちょっと手間がかかりすぎるっていうものだったらもちろん改善しますって。
Daya just wants you to play the game for as long as you can.
I mean, maybe because I would need some help with expertise myself, so.
Which is, I mean, it's right over to ask for that, because that's the reason why we're here talking about more content. It's because people actually still play the game. People
まず PTS 中にプレイヤーからのフィードバックを受けて、マスターの必要な経験値の量を減らしたんだよね。でも製品版を出してさらにそれでもまだプレイヤーから手間がかかりすぎるって言われたらもちろん改善しますって。ちょっと喉が。
So I can definitely understand the more casual approach to the game, and I would even say be an advocate of this part of fan base. So yeah, because we have
でもね、本当コメント欄にもあるけど、とりあえず新しく始める人は始めたらさっさとシーズンパスをレベル上げて、でハートブレイカーっていう装備もらえるから、それを6箇所つけて、でブルースクリーンっていうねものをつければもうどのコンテンツもクリアできる。
To be fair, there's a lot of hours that also go into the test builds and the development builds.
And
that doesn't get counted somehow.
Yeah, it never gets counted. But yeah, I think enough with the complicated discussions. There, we still have some other nice things that we wanted to share with you.
ゲームについての情報はまだありますよ。今度は医療費イベントの内容だ。
A big, leap from discussing expertise.
Not everybody's favorite topic, but yeah. Come on, new outfits, new ways to customize your look. That's always fun.
で、新しい医療費イベント最初はフェアビュークルーっていう言えねえなクルー。フェアビュークルーっていうイベントが5月の24日から始まりますと。レベルは40。
So 2 of them in season 9. Fairview Crew being the first one.
Yeah, and our team is very
なかなかいいな。
about creating new outfits and
ガムテープでぐるぐる止めてんのなかなか良き。
who is our team lead, and it's hard to imagine anyone more invested in the game on the art side. So that only means that in the future we're gonna have even more cool outfits. And actually this why
めっちゃいいこれ。
these two
このマスクいい。
special is because we're gonna get the backpacks vanity for the first time ever.
なんかディビジョンというよりもウォッチドッグス味があるけどどこか。
Yes, we are going to start introducing the concept of skins for gear. So as part of those outfits in this apparel event, you will
このストリートアクティベーションか。これはまた別の医療費イベントか。
Basically a transmog the same way that the current transmog exists, except that they are unique and they are not linked to a specific item. You unlock it through the apparel event and then it's a new skin you can apply to your gear.
5月の12日にダウンロードってことしかまだわかんない。時間はわかんないね。
Well, you did now.
Here we go. I mean, that's
But yeah,
exciting.
I mean, we said that's our ambition to try to keep it that way. And yes, it's that's something we want to keep going because
Couple events per season. Yeah.
again, it's people like new things and like new
医
looks.
療品イベントもこのシーズン新しいシーズン作る上で医療品イベントどうするかって悩んでたけども、まあ、やっぱりねみんなが医療品欲しいやろうっていうことで各シーズンにこの医療品イベントを
Probably
追
the
加
most
と。
hated about even you know,
Right?
history.
So it's my favorite. I don't know where
I
you're
get
so sold, you
PTSD from
guys.
it, but no, I think I don't know what's I think the
Silent Night.
Silent Night
Yeah.
I think was
Yeah.
was my favorite because just there were so many good outfits in this one.
But yeah, Heatwave is still nice. I mean,
some people liked it, which is cool.
I mean, recently someone asked Mortem on Twitter about the, you know, merchandise and all the swag, and I went looking for possibilities, you know, for those merchandise to be purchased somehow by players and whatnot, and I found out that we actually have the Division 2 flip-flops and like beach towels available on one of the Ubisoft websites. So
It's real life Heatwave.
yeah, I'm just dropping this information here in case you guys are looking for a new beach towel or
Yeah.
flip-flops before you start for
ツイッターで
It's actually, yeah, it's
ツ
the
イッターで
weirdest,
ディビジョンの新しいグッズって販売ないんですかって言われて
I'm gonna
ちょっと調べて
No,
み
but
た
I
ら
take note and I hope everybody is watching. So
公式ストアで
for more
いつの間にか新しくビーチタオルが売られてましたっていう報告があったよ。だからもし欲しい人がいたらビーチタオル欲しい人がいたらどうですかって言ったら
I mean, blame me if it won't play out the way we want it. But yeah, I mean, since we already kind of dropped several hints on year 4 and what's going to happen with the game going forward,
今度は
I think
シーズン
it's
4
time
全体の
to
話だね。
address the
シーズン
elephant in the
15 だ
room
けじゃなくて。
spec revamp.
Ah, like which elephant? There's a few of them. Yes, spec revamp. I mean, spec revamp, as you know, was initially planned for TU15. So we've put a lot of work into.
まず
into
スペシャリゼーション
this.
の
The idea with spec
新
revamp
しい
is to really change the
改
way
善
we approach specializations. Right now, for a lot of people, specialization is a choice you make, mostly for the passive buffs you're going to get out of it, and then you forget about it. And the use of the signature weapon is even more something, you know, anecdotal that you may remember or you may not. Again, some people might use it more than others, but the game doesn't really answer well to you using your signature weapon because we never really found the right spot between should it be powerful, so it actually makes a difference,
今のところ
but
ほとんどの
then
人はスペシャリゼーションを選ぶときそのスペシャリゼーションでもらえるパッシブバフにしか興味がなくて他のことはどうでもいいと思ってる。
So the revamp
で、スペシャリゼーションの武器も正直もっと強くすべきなのか弱すぎるのかいいところがねずっと見つけられなかったと。だからそこら辺に手を加えていくって。
We've changed the way the specialization tree looks, and we've changed all the bonuses you get there. We've changed the way we're giving you those bonuses. Some of them will be directly under the linear progression as you rank up your specialization. Some others are going to be choices that you get from that tree. But one thing we wanted was to make those choices meaningful. So they are powerful choices. They are kind of build playstyle defining choices. And you will have to make difficult choices because you will not be able to specialize in everything. Some decisions will be mutually exclusive, so if you decide to go left, the right branch gets locked, or in any way you will not have enough points to max out everything. Because that's where people then forget and stop caring, because if I maxed out everything, I just play the game and I don't need to think of how the mechanics work. So anyway, this is it's a big thing. It's a big endeavor. We really wanted to have it ready for TU15, but unfortunately, it's not ready. And we don't want to rush it. We want to do it proper because it's
シーズンタイトルアップデート15シーズン9に間に合わせたかったんだけどスペシャリゼーションの最強化をでも間に合わなかったからもういっそのことちゃんと時間をかけてしっかりと調整してから配信したいと。
Hopefully it will be ready for the TU after that. But it is it's almost there, but it's not entirely there. So we want to take the time to make it as good as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can wait.
Sure.
まだまだ時間はかかるね。
No, but it's you know, like we know we're here for the year. So it's something that needs to be okay. That if a feature is not ready, it moves to the next one. And again, we will hopefully talk more about it. There will be PTSs in the future and all of that. So we will have plenty of chances to show more, to talk more about that change and other things coming in the year.
将来まだまだ PTS 今後もやっていけるから PTS でまずはあれだね。新しいスペシャリゼーションのテストをするときが来るね。
Yeah, absolutely.
シーズン17ぐらいで来るのかな。今シーズンじゃあシーズンとタイトルアップデートがずれてるからやりづれ。シーズン9だから今シーズン11とかシーズン12ぐらいで来るのかな。
But it is something we've said, and I think we need to say with every occasion. It is not just U15.
まあこのコメント欄を見てる感じでもね、賛否両論って感じじゃない。むしろ非の方が多いよね。スペシャリゼーション、シグネチャー武器っていうのは。それは開発の中でもやっぱり同じようなもんなんだよ。強すぎてもダメだし、弱すぎてもダメだけど、うまくそのバランス取れねえなって。
We've mentioned that we're operating with a smaller team, so we need to be smart with the decisions we are making, where we want to invest our time and resources, because we don't have the luxury of throwing a million people at problems. So we need to make the right decisions.
なんでそんなに調整とかいろいろ時間がかかるかっていうと、今ディビジョンには3つのスタジオが関わってるわけだけど、各スタジオから少人数のチームしかいないわけだからリソースが限られてる。だからバンジーなんてもう今1000人以上がもう一つのゲームに取り組んでるからめちゃくちゃすぐ早くバグ修正とか問題修正、難易度調整とかいろいろやれるんだけど、さすがにディビジョンでそういうことはできない。だから限られてるリソースをどこにつぎ込むかをちゃんと検討してからやらなくちゃいけないからどうしてもね動きが遅くなっちゃうね。
Yeah, if the issue is gonna be really pressing, like I'm here, so just hit me up. But talking about yeah, that's very important. I'm not answering the comments or the questions that are not addressed nicely. So yeah, that's the thing.
As usual, negativity is fine, but it needs to be constructive.
Absolutely. And actually talking about community, since we pretty much covered almost everything that we wanted, right? We talked about Countdown, we talked about expertise, new Manhunt, the continuation of the story, Fail Out, but scratch that. And apparel events, PTS, new team, Bucharest team, and yeah, I think we covered pretty much everything. And I'm thinking that the remaining time we're gonna spend answering your questions from the chat.
これからはコメント欄からの質問を答えていき
Community
ますと。
managers were helping us with collecting the questions from the chat, so we have
でチャッ
like
トから
a list
チャット
of
からすでにいくつか
questions
質問を集めてみ
we
たと。
can try answering. And the first question is about when we will have crossplay.
クロスプレイはいつですか？
Do you want to take that one?
いいね。
I mean, I think I've been pretty open about it, but it's not something we're looking at.
クロスプレイの予定はありません。
I explained in a Twitter thread a long time ago, and I usually link that to that one when people ask me the question on Twitter, but that's not the way our saves work in the game.
ゲームシステムが
The online infrastructure, and that's coming
クロスプレイに対応してないからできないって。
people are watching and I'm butchering it. But my understanding of it is that we have separate databases for each platform. So Xbox, PlayStation, PC, they all have separate databases. They don't communicate with each other. They don't know what's happening here or there. So if we wanted to do crossplay, the first thing we would need to do is put all those saves on one database, which means moving saves, which no online person would ever be comfortable with, because you can break a lot of things. And then it creates a lot of very complicated questions on like what happens if people have the same name, what happens if people already have a save on that other platform, what happens
いつかじゃなく
if
て
this, what
な
happens
い
if that. All of that can be solved, of
クロ
course.
スプレイはない
And we know it's not impossible, but it is such a huge endeavor, and a
さっきも言
very
ったけど
risky
チー
one
ム
at
が
that.
そも
So
そ
it's
も
not something that,
少ないでしょ
seems feasible or reasonable.
チームの大きさがち
Yeah,
っちゃい
thank you
か
for
ら
the answer. I mean, it's not the
クロスプレイを
answer
実
that
装する
you
ために
guys
かけ
hoping
る
for, but
労力が
yes, that's
でかす
honest.
ぎると
I
そ
wish
し
we
た
could
ら
do it.
もう他のコンテンツとか一切何も作れないと
With you
だから仕
traffic
方ないから
crashes that have been happening, if
クロ
we're
スプレイは
talking
できないで
about
す
the deltas that happened a lot throughout all the three phases of BDS, then yes, absolutely, we made sure to locate to identify the issue behind those deltas, and the issue is already fixed in the build.
ね
So
PTS でデルタ3エラーがめちゃくちゃ
let's
頻
go
発
for
し
the
まくったけ
best,
ど
right?
It's always the same thing, right? We
あの
don't have one fix that's going to fix all deltas.
1デルタは製品版では一応出にくくはなってるはずとただ一つのを修正しただけでデルタが全部消えるわけではないからもちろん製品版でもデルタは発生するとは思うでも PTS の時みたいなアホみたいな量のデルタが出るわけではないと
So that's also good for you to know. And if we're talking about other issues that I won't name here, but I understand probably what this question is about, then those should be addressed in TU16 because that's something that I already discussed with our live producer. So very good, we're on that. Let's see what else we have here. Will there be another DLC? That's a good question. but
新しい DLC はありますか
We already mentioned that it's going to be year 4, so list 2 more seasons.
Yeah, it's year 4 is more seasons, more content, and our plan for year
あ
4 is
ダメだこれ
the same
ヤニックたちが
model
質問の
that
内
we
容を
had
感謝してる
until
多
now.
分
The content is
新しい
free, and
DLC はありますか
season
っていうことで
we
多分
have
ウォール・オード・オ
plans
ブ・ニュー
to
ヨーク
make
みたいにこう
PTS
名前が変わる大型アップデートがあるかって聞いたんだろうけどちょっと違うねはぐされはぐらかされたねシーズン4はとりあえず今ちゃんと言われたのがイヤー4のアップデートは全部無料です
Will you increase inventory storage space? I know that you also answered that one on Twitter like
保管庫の
100 times
サイ
already.
ズは
That's
増えます
probably a
か
good,
Yeah, and
good
not
thing to
everybody
repeat.
follows me on Twitter. It's probably better for their own sake and mine. But
で今までツイッターとかでも何度も説明してるけどもまあないね
that's also kind of a complicated tech one because at the end of the day what more storage means is a bigger character save for us in terms of saving the data from your account and when we made the
まあ
last
答えられない
update,
こともあるだろうね
which was,
いろい
I
ろ
can't remember if that was TU12 or a bit before that we kind of pushed it to the extent that we were comfortable with. Pushing it further means this may have an impact on performances. This may have an
まあ
impact
保管庫
on
とかロードアウトもそうだけど基本俺らからしたらさ単にちょっとこの枠増やすだけじゃんとか保管庫も枠増やすだけじゃないとロードアウトも枠増やすだけじゃないって話だけど俺ら一人一人が物増やすとその分だけセーブデータの容量が増えるわけで全プレイヤー分増えていくわけだからより大きなサーバーが必要になってしまうそれちょっとできない
So as long as we keep adding more items, there are people who just want to hold on to everything and just make more builds. So more storage is always going to be a question. So I don't know what the solution is.
でももちろんヤニックたちもゲームがどんどん新装備を追加していってるからより大きな保管庫が欲しいっていうのは分かってるでなんとか解決しようとしてるんだけどもまだちょっと解決方法が見つからない
I don't have the answer to that question, but that's the way I would like to try to look at it with the team.
なんとかセーブデータを大きくしなくてもより大きいよりたくさんアイテムを持っているようにする方法がないかなってなんとかこれからも模索していきます
In case he wants to answer that one.
No, we need to acknowledge that. PvP, yes.
Yeah, focus on PvP.
Yeah, the question is, will there be a focus on PvP?
PvP については
we hear the comments. We know that there is a PvP, a passionate PvP community out there, and that are playing either in the dark zone or in conflict. And there's a lot of conversation on the state of PvP in our game and the things that work and the things that don't. We don't want to ignore that, and the changes to Shield, for example, is one instance.
でもちろん PVP の熱狂的なファンがいるのも分かってるけど
we could afford doing, and that at least addresses one of the problems. There's other problems in PvP. So will there be any focus on PvP? I don't know, because that's not a matter of just wanting to do it. It's a matter of having the
た
right
だ
team.
現在はそのチームがやっぱまだまだちっちゃいから PVP はどうしても優先度が低くなっちゃう。
very much built to produce PvE content. That doesn't mean we don't want PvP, but that means right now we don't necessarily have the people that can allow us to have a pure focus on PvP. But on the other hand, I don't want us to give up on it. That's part of the game. That's something that our players like and
まだま
want
だ
to engage with.
やっぱり新しいチームを一から作ったっていうことの弊害が出てるね。まだ PVP とかをいろいろ調整するほどの
Yes, we know.
リソースがない
Yes, we want to try to make PvP better. And we may try, and hopefully it will be better. But it's so far we don't have any big PvP 2.0 path that is planned. If we do it, it's more going to be like we did with Shield, trying to address the main outliers, the elephants in the room, and try a few things here and there and see, does that make it better? Cool, we keep it. No, okay, we change. Try something else. So it's going to be more iterative than one big revamp.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's not like we're ignoring the comments, and we see them and we acknowledge them, and that is something that team constantly discussing. So, but let's pray we're gonna have the right person for that.
But it's just and we have a bunch of recruitments that are open, so it's also something when we talk about rebuilding a team, we are still rebuilding that team. So one miracle would be to find someone that is super savvy about PvP and could help us. But it's not just that.
人材がね、まだまだ集めてる最中だからね。ないね。
It's about looking at what's feasible with the game and how things work.
ディビジョン好きな人はもうめちゃくちゃ好きだけど、全体でUbisoftを全体で見ると、ディビジョンっていうのはもうちっちゃいゲームになっちゃってるから、プレイしてる人がね。だからそこにいきなり大量のお金を投入するっていうのはできないしね、予算に限りがあるからなかなか人を集められないだろうね。だからもうできれば今回この配信で PVP にも大きな変更がありますってお伝えしたかったけども、残念ながらできませんでした。ゲーム作る側もやる側もリソース集めに忙しい。なかなかいい皮肉。リソースは大事よ。あ、そうそう。12日にそのアップデーがあるけど、それまでにみんなたくさんリソースも集めといた方がいいよ。
Let's see what else we have there. Will there be a new hunter?
There'll be a new hunter.
新しいハンターはいますか
We said spoiler free
yeah.
stream.
We just, and he already mentioned it, so wink wink.
でも、ネタバレはなしなので、ちょっとそれについてはスルーです。
There was a question about new skills. Can we have more skills, new skill variations?
新しいスキルやスキルバリエーションはありますか
So far we haven't planned for it.
今のところ予定なしです。以前はシーズンごとに新しいスキル追加したけども、もう今はできない。
The season reward is an exotic, and one of the reasons why we haven't done that is we don't feel like most of the variants we introduced with those seasons were actually super satisfying. Some of them ended up being just never used by anyone.
だから今まで各シーズンで新しいスキル追加したけど、蓋を開けてみたらよく使われるスキルは使われるけど、全然使われないスキルは一切タッチされないと。だったらあんまりスキル追加しても意味ねえなってなってきた。
Maybe in the future, but at the moment the plan is to
将来もしかしたらスキル追加するかもしれないけど、今のところ新スキルの予定はないです。
Sounds good. And there were several questions about April events. Can we have more hunter cosmetics? And can we please wear hat with hunter masks? We want more hunter apparel. But I think that's very good feedback, and we're definitely gonna discuss it with Polly and the team.
医療品イベント
Yeah, I mean,
で
at least on the wearing
もっと
hats with,
またハンターに
with
フォーカ
masks
スを
on
当
the
て
back.
た
This has to do
医療
with
品
the
イベン
way
ト
our
ないっすか
characters are
って
built.
言われてるけど
So,
今のところはないみたいね
currently,
でも
if
いい
if
フィー
we
ドバッ
give
ク
you
だ
a
から
mask
今
and
後
that
検討
mask
しま
does
す
not allow for a headpiece to be on top of it, it's because we just cannot. It's not a creative choice because we don't want you to wear a hoodie with a hunter mask. It's just because the way our characters are made just doesn't allow for it. There are only specific type of masks that allow for headwear, and others just don't. So we try to have a mix of both, and there might be solutions we can look at, but it's if we try to find solutions, it will be for new things we introduce. It's not going to be retroactive or suddenly the hunter mask can be used with a headpiece.
Yeah, definitely. Will you add a new map location? It's actually what Countdown is for, because
新しいマップや新しいロケーションはっていう質問はそのためのカウントダウンで
it
す。
is, and that's something that was important for us with the new team taking over. It was an opportunity for them to learn how to make map, how to make content for the game, and how to make it feel like true to the history of the division and the way we used to do maps.
ウエストバウアーさんありがとうございま
So
す。
new locations, new spaces. Of course, we will always be looking at adding new ones. If the question is, will there be a new piece of open world like we did New York with Warlords of New York? No, that's not our plan at the moment. But new maps and new spaces that you can discover through different type of content, yes.
Yeah. Will you ever add all loot exotics to General Bull, not locked behind raid? Actually, that's what the new reward track is for this season, because you can get the exotic as a part of the season 9.
The exotics of that season.
Yeah.
But the raid exotics are still raid exclusives. We are making with TU15, we are adding the
レイド限定のエキゾはやっぱりレイド限定のままだと。まあそれはそれがいいと思うわ。当然よ。
So the gear sets are no longer raid exclusive. The exotics though are still raid exclusives, and for the moment we don't plan to change that. I feel like the gear set is already a good step. We don't want to take away all the exclusives from the raid, otherwise some people like to play the raids just for the fun of the experience, but others like to play it and be rewarded for it. And if we take away that exclusivity, then suddenly what is there to gain to play the raid?
Yeah. Is there anything else we can address from the pool here?
Will we ever have a postmaster? I see. It's
ポストマスタ
it's a
ー
suggestion we see a lot.
ポストマスターが追加されますかと。ドロップ品拾わなかったドロップ品
That's
が
open for feedback and suggestions, but it's how do you handle a postmaster that knows what loot is interesting for you and what loot isn't? Because that's the problem. Is if you say it's a postmaster, I mean it's a postmaster that gives
ポスト
you
マスター
access to
は
all the
実
loot
装
that
す
you
る予
can
定は
pick
やっぱ
up,
今
and
も
that
ない
means
ないみたいだね。
You already do a lot of inventory management when you finish an activity in the division. And now if we're saying, oh, but now you need to go back to the boot to go to that screen and go through the hundreds of stuff you didn't pick up to see, oh, wait, actually that one had good stats. Maybe I should have kept that one. That doesn't sound like a fun experience. So that's more the question. How can we do it
ここ今
in a
俺とヤニック完璧に違う
that is smart, so
違う見解だ
you
な。
can filter and say, I just want to
ここのその見解の違いっていうのはちょっと今夜おそらくこれを動画にするから
I'm
その
sure
時
there
に
are
言うわ。
solutions, but right now it's
まあ、なんでポストマスターを
it's not
実装しないか
something we put a lot of
俺は
thought
デスティニーをやってるからデスティニーはポストマスターめっちゃ使ってるからポストマスターはマジで必要と ボダラン3とかタイニーティナでもポストマスターにはめっちゃ助かってたからディビジョン2でも欲しいんだけどヤニックはディビジョン2にポストマスターはいらないとその見解の違いについてもね今夜話すよ
It's already a task of its own.
It is. So it's again, it's something that is solvable, but it's not as simple as saying, oh, I want a postmaster that allows me, gives me a chance to look at all the loot I left behind. Because if you do that, the proportion of time you spend in your inventory is going to be much longer.
コメントはどうなってるかなここについて
Definitely, and that's not the best solution here.
荒れてるね。やっぱ荒れてる
There are
ね。
more legendary missions. It's
荒れてるね。今んとこ質疑応答やってからの回答が全然良くないから荒れてる
And
ね。
one thing that at least I can comment on is the fact that yes, we know that with expertise, we are going to make players more powerful. And actually, with the spec revamp, we're also probably going to make players a bit more powerful because we're going to make spec weapons or signature weapons more powerful. So,
あ、でもね、
so of
肯
course
定
the
的な
question
人もい
comes
る
up
ね。
like, okay, but what if you're that powerful? What's going to be the challenging content? And so far, the most challenging difficulty is legendary and the raids.
あ、コウヒさん、ありがとうございます。ポストマスターっていうのは、アクティビティとかを完了したときに拾い忘れてる装備とかが、後で自分の手元に届くシステムのことなんだよね。だからほら、ディビジョンだったらこうドロップをさ常にさ拾っていってさ行かなくちゃいけないわけじゃない。前の方に前に進みたいけども、ドロップが後ろにいるからちょっと拾ってくるわってやんなくちゃいけないじゃん。でもポストマスターがあったら後ろに拾いに行かなくていいんだよ。これ後でポストマスターに忘れ物届いてるからどんどん気にせず前に進んでっていいやって。でもそれがディビジョン2にはないです。そう特にカウントダウンをねやってると本当にポストマスター欲しいなってなるのよ。ボダラン3とかタイニーティナとかそうそうボダランシリーズのロストルートマシンとかその類。
Create new challenges for the players that are at the top of the top and for whom even legendary is not really a challenge anymore and it's going to be even less of a challenge with all of that. That's more the way we want to think about it.
Yeah, definitely. But I think we have a time for one last question.
じゃあ最後の問題、最後の質問ですと。
Just there's a box of chocolate candies. Just choose one.
I mean, I can try to just shotgun a few of them, but any plans to consolidate the DC Dark Zones? Nope. But we would like to look at Dark Zone in general and see if we can improve it, but that's part of the PvP conversation, so it's something that...
ダークゾーンについての新しい変更の予定はありますかって言われたけど、ないですって言ったわ。なんでないかっていうと、ダークゾーンは
Any update on anti-cheat and addressing cheaters? We have a running anti-cheat. I know it looks like we're not banning cheaters, but trust me, we are banning cheaters.
またこれは重要だ。PVP でのチーター対策。一応ちゃんとチーター減ってないように見えてるけども、実はちゃんとチーターはどんどんバンしていってると。でさらにアンチチートソフトもしっかりどんどん更新していってる。
people who cheat. We are not publicly confirming if someone cheated or whatever. So if you send reports to us,
でもさらに誰かがチートをしてたとしても誰がチートしてたかを公にすることはないと。だからそのせいであんまりチート対策してねえんじゃねえのって思われてるけども、ちゃんとチーターをチーター対策はどんどんちゃんとやってて。
Will you still be revising the specialization tree? Yeah, we talked about that. Will the season pass contain the previous season's missions? Yes. Yes, that's a model we will keep. So as you play the
今回のシーズンパスにもちゃんと過去のシーズンのミッションは追加されますよ。
The season track, you will unlock the previous climax missions from the previous seasons. Will you take hardcore mode out of beta? I would like to, and we have a bunch of ideas on how to do that. It's the same. It's a matter of does that take priority over other things we want to do.
カウントダウンにハードコアモードを追加する予定ありますかって。やりたい。
One day, yes. When? I don't know. Will there be more directives? We haven't added new ones with this update, with Season 9. That's something we may keep doing, but that's to me
今回のアップデートでは新しいディレクティブが追加されないと。
So instead of just adding directives, I want that to be part of the general conversation on how do we create challenges.
でもカウントダウンではカウントダウンにはねそもそもねディレクティブみたいなものがねあるんだよ。ゲームシステムにもともと組み込まれてんだよ。だからそれが代わりになるって。
Yeah, I think we covered pretty much everything now. The PvP question again.
People asking about the cancelled nightmare for Ken College if we will ever bring it back. No, we will not. We will not do it. We did very little work on it. We cancelled it early on because we quickly realized that it was just not feasible. So it's not as if
バイオコラボと一緒にやるんじゃないかと言われて、権利大学のなんかイベントについてちょっと話してるけど、最初はやるつもりだったけど、どんどん検討していくうちに、これやる価値ねえわってなって、スクラップにしたんだって、中止したんだって。
No more questions.
You took the screen away from me.
Because I mean, I know that you can just spend hours answering all the questions, and that's probably what you want to continue doing.
That's
But
okay.
yeah,
You know where to find
unfortunately,
me.
we're running a little bit out of time, and there are still 2 other things that I wanted to mention quickly before we say our goodbyes. So first of
最後
all,
に2つ。
right after the release, that is on May 12th, just get the date. I don't know. Mark it in red in your calendars,
12日の
whatever.
何時に配信するかは決まってないっ
Ask
てい
your
う。
boss to get you a free day from work. But 2 more things. If you guys want to bring your friends or family or whoever else to try the Division with you, you're going to have a perfect chance to do that this coming weekend because the game is going free on all platforms.
今週全プラットフォームでディビジョン2が
So that's a good opportunity.
無料プレイ。
If you're looking for teammates, I mean, just ask your cousin, ask your little brother to be your supporter in the game.
And bring your friends, because the more people play the update, and the more it's going to look good to our bosses, and they're going to say, yeah, you can keep making content for the game.
だからディビジョン2をもっとね、
just
プレイもっともっと今後もアップデートが欲しかったら、この週末の無料プレイ中にどんどんフレンドを巻き込んで、パッと見ゲームプレイ人口めちゃくちゃ多そうだなって見せれば、Ubisoft の上部の人たちがやるやんディビジョン、じゃあもっと作っていいよってなってくれるから、どんどん人集めて。
And that's what you're gonna get
Twitch ドロップやるんだね。
the Division stream if the streamer kind of opted for to be a part of this campaign for 1 hour or 2 hour watching. You're gonna get the April cash.
1時間見れば、1時間2時間同じで、3時間でシーズン装備の、箱がもらえて、4時間でエキゾキャッシュがもらえると。どうした？マイクめっちゃちっちゃくなったぞ。何を言ってるんだ？何も聞こえん。マイクが急にちっちゃく。マイク誰かがオフにしたな。自分の声ちゃんと。ヤニックの声がダリアの声拾ってる。
I mean,
yeah, because people were answering if it's going to be possible to obtain them any other way. So yeah, that's your chance.
Maybe?
PC 勢いいな。ツイッチドロップは別に PC と関係ないんじゃない？全プラットフォーム対応じゃない？
That's pretty much it. So that was super nice to sit here and chat with you and chat with you as well.
How does it feel to be in this seat, in this spot?
Oh, I mean, it's kind of, I would say that right now, I must say that it feels like I'm in the right place. But if you would ask me like 2 months ago, I would probably still be all over.
声がちっちゃくて何を言ってるか聞こえん。
Oh. Thanks, George. Trying to be discreet and all. So apparently Daria's mic is struggling from all this talking and all this cool stuff. So apparently it's up to me to do the outro, which is perfect because I had absolutely not prepared for it. But yes.
マイク壊れとるぞって。
You can still see Daria.
こっちも理解してる。マイクが多分バッテリーが死んだんだろうね。これワイヤレスマイクだろうから。だんだんベヨネッタに見えてきた。美人さんだからね、基本。こういうショートヘアが似合うのはすごいわ。 セールじゃなくて無料プレイ。
Thanks for your support. May 12th, TU15 is coming out. Log in, play the game, bring your friends, have fun, or do something else. That's okay to come whenever you're ready. We'll be here. So thanks for tuning in and see you soon.
5月の12日に、新しいアップデートが配信されるので皆さんプレイしてくださいと。でさらに、無料プレイも始まります。だから今回あれなんだろうね。配信の時間がいわゆる週のリセットと DLC の配信時期が違うんだろうね。無料プレイに合わせて DLC を配信してディビジョン長い間プレイしてなかったけどプレイしてみようかなっていう人とかちょっとやってみたいんだよなっていう人はこう連れてきやすくするんだろうね。だからもうこの無料プレイでエーペックスとかから人をね引っ張ってきてみんな。極端な話、俺もディビジョン2をプレイする人が増えてくれたらディビジョン2の動画また作り始めるし、逆にディビジョン2全然人増えんなってなったら俺も動画作れないから今後は。だからみんなどんどんディビジョンのプレイヤーを増やしてくれ。新開発メンバーのディビジョンに期待やなってね。期待だわ。狭間の力指集めてくる。そう、エルデンリングでちょっと召喚しといて。エルデンリングから白霊たちをどんどんディビジョンに。無料は全プラットフォーム。最後にまた俺は最後にこれから今回のこの配信のまとめを動画作るから、なのでまた今回のこのね配信で拾えなかった情報とかもあったらそういうのもねまとめるから。リリーさんは12日放送する予定あるのですか？放送はしたいよね。したいけど同時に何時にそのアップデートが配信されるか分かんないからね。難しい。というわけで今回はここまでにします。俺は落ちるよ。みんなももう何時だ？夜1時でしょ。いや900人もまだこんな時間に見てくれてね、ほんとありがとうね。最後みんなよかったらチャンネル登録してってね。じゃあお疲れさんでした。